Good afternoon, everybody. It's the Freaking Man here, and I'm going to begin. This is going to be my first of several videos on economic systems. And the first one that I want to start with is communism. And the reason why is because it is probably the most misunderstood economic system. Communism actually is fairly successful. But there are no truly communist governments. A lot of people think that Russia is a communist country. It is not. It is, in fact, it never was. Never at any point in its history. Immediately after the czars, in the name of Karl Marx, Lenin put up, a government and called it communism when in fact it was state socialism. Same with China. China, North Korea, Cuba, all of these countries are not in fact communist. Everybody labels them communist. They got labeled communists because that's what Russia started calling itself, and all of its little, crony countries calling themselves communists. And it is literally a lie told to the people to make them feel good. It is a lie to make them feel like they are in control, and that it's not a state system. Communism is in fact a no government system. The successful communist, truly communist organizations are Catholic cloisters and things similar to those lines. I guess Buddhist monks would also fall in that category. The ones that live in the temples up in the mountains in Asia and places. But a really good modern day example of a communist society is the monks of New Skeet. They raise dogs. They raise and sell German Shepherds, are very good at it, and they train them and they breed them. And they're very successful dog trainers and dog breeders, and all the money that comes in to their cloistered order is put directly into the coffers, and it's shared in common. They use it to buy food for everybody. They use it to pay rent for everybody. Everybody gets food. Everybody gets I don't even know what all they get out of it, but they all live under a common income. None of them they delve equally into it, and that is a true communist society. There is no government. There is an authority system. There are monks that raise in seniority, and the lower monks are expected to give a certain amount of obedience and respect to the older monks. And so there's an authority system, but it's not a government per se. Nobody's getting put in a cage if they disobey. There might be other repercussions, but the reason why those cloistered orders work so well, the reason why those communist systems work well, is because they're small, easily managed, and every single member is a voluntary member. Every person actually gives according to his ability because that's what he signed up to do. And they are screened, and people who cannot live up to the code are kicked out of the order before they even take oaths. So you can't do that with a country. If you're born in those borders, you're expected to be part of this system whether you want to or not. Doesn't matter what your personal views are. And so it creates a lot of discontentment and a lot of unexpected, unintended consequences are resultant, and things have to be enforced. And generally that's where socialism or fascism comes into play, or any other kind of dictatorial government. That's where they come into play, and that's where they rise up. The idea of communism probably started genuinely in Russia. It was probably their genuine motivation, but it didn't last more than a week. So anyway, communism has never, ever once in the history of mankind become a national government. And so it is incredibly misunderstood, and it is actually a very good system, but it requires every single person to be on board, every single person to be willing participant, and you cannot force people to be willing participants by nature. If you're forcing somebody, they're not willing. So it is not a very good government system, but it is a decent economic system. And with that, my next video will be on socialism, and hopefully that will clarify the difference between the two. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.